question what everyone's been waiting for of like, Jimmy, why did Jason Takes P.A. fall apart? Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Average Superstar TV. I am your host, Lauren Lepre. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. And this week, we're back in, I would say, the convention circuit here. My guest here is definitely, I would say, is a friend of mine. I've been keeping up with this guy for the last couple of years as he's been doing his mini cons and conventions. Definitely been a controversial figure, I guess you could say, with his last event, Jason Takes P.A. I would just like to say that I have been going to conventions for 20 years. Everybody involved with these conventions, they're my family, they're my life. There would be no films like my Dark Military film without it. We've definitely seen some people come in and between vendors and promoters, and they've been in it for the wrong reasons. And they've been chased away, and, you know, we all stick up for each other and push the wrong people out. What has happened here in the last couple of weeks, I truly believe Jimmy is a guy who did this with all his heart, and it just didn't land. This round just did not work out for him. I don't think this guy in any way was trying to slander or get one up on anybody to better himself. So we are going to get to that. And including his history. I'd also just like to say, really before I say, guys, I've been talking too long. I have also ran two film festivals in the last 10 years in Philadelphia. I ran 26 film festivals, Freedom Shorts and Liberty Massacre. I know what it's like to be in a promoter, the shoes this guy's been in, of what could happen, being nervous, having all your ducks in a row, and still be like, man, one wrong move during this event could ruin me. And as much as I had that down at each one as I did my improvements, there's always that chance something could go wrong. And you know what? We love these conventions and we talk about how great they are. You know, you got to put a lot into these promoters, but, you know, once in a blue moon, something's going to go wrong. And I think he has the right to be heard. So with that super long speech, I welcome Jimmy J from Horror 365, the Blairstown events, and Jason Takes P.A. Welcome to the show, friend.
Lauren. How are you, buddy? I appreciate that introduction. You know what? First of all, I want to tell you and everybody out there, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays right now. You know, I'm very festive here. It's lit up. I got the little gloves here, but Lauren, I just want to take these. I want to take the gloves off. Okay, I'm going to take them off because I do have some things to say. But, you know, we're going to keep it as professional as possible here on your show, which I appreciate you, taking the time to have me on. There's so much to talk about. And I know there's a lot of people that have been reaching out to me over the past couple of weeks about everything that had transpired or hadn't transpired earlier this month.
Yeah, and I will say up right out of the gate, I'd definitely like to hit the rewind button and talk about a little bit of your history up into this event. But one thing I got to say to everybody up front that might be upset with this thing or are upset with this thing, Jimmy didn't run away. He went right to Facebook Live and was right there. And so many other promoters you've never seen. It's like as if they got a facelift and went into exile. Jimmy was right there explaining things. He put all his heart and emotion into it. And he's still here. And, you know, he does want to get back into it, but he definitely wants to clear the air. But Jimmy, let's hit the rewind button because, like I said, I've been around conventions 20 years, and I was a guy who just watched a lot of USA Up all night and ran to the magazine stores and was always looking into Fangoria, before there was the internet of what films I need to check out. And we literally live at the video store, and someone would be like, rent that tape over there. There's 3 amazing trailers on it. And that's how you would learn about horror movies. Even if you didn't like the movie, I was literally renting this to watch those 3 trailers because there is no YouTube and stuff. So, you know, I know you've been doing this for a short period of time, but right behind me here we got Blairstown
That
event,
poster, yeah.
and he's done several of them, and they went off pretty good. So, Jimmy, like when did you even get into this horror movie stuff?
So yeah, I do want to rewind because I think there's quite a few people out there that don't know history and facts, and there's people that think this was like the first event that I was throwing, and it just never happened. But that's not true. So before I got into horror, I was in pro wrestling, and we had watch parties. We had a contract with Buffalo Wild Wings out in New York. Yep, and we had watch parties with pro wrestlers. They would come out to Buffalo Wild Wings. We would have a good time and deliver a special experience for fans. And as a fan myself, that's something that I always wanted. It's like, it's great to meet somebody, and I always say this, it's great to meet them, shake their hand, get an autograph, but what about hanging out with these people? And that's what we provided, wrestling fans with pre-pandemic and even, after pandemic. And then I was like, thinking to myself, I've done wrestling shows and I love wrestling. And I've done theme parties, 80s, 90s nostalgia. Who doesn't like nostalgia?
Of course.
And then I'm like, what else do I said? I love horror movies, but how do I get involved? And I linked up with a former business partner of mine, which most of you may know, not even going to say the name. So started doing a podcast. And actually, I started doing a podcast thanks to Mr. Anthony Gangone and the Chillin' Killin' crew. When they had this podcast called Chillin' Killin'. Anthony Gangone is an independent pro wrestler, really good friend of mine. He's a huge horror fan as well and collector. So I got involved with him and some of the gentleman we call Terminator Travis and his whole, their whole crew was on their show. And then from there, I'm like, I got to do something. I want to do a podcast, by myself, horror, and, former quote unquote business partner. I'm not going to say this guy's name. You know who he is, guys that know. We decided to do the show. I came up with the name Horror 365 because I wanted something that nobody else had. And we were going to talk all things horror. And then, a couple months into doing the show, I'm like, what if we did something like we did with pro wrestling with horror? What if we bought a talent out for a meet and greet, a dinner, and something like that? So I was thinking of who we can get. I was thinking about the movies that I grew up on. And, it was a few movies. Now, Dream Warriors was huge for me, but I was like, you know what? It's going to take a lot to get all the Warriors together. I don't have that budget. I knew I didn't have that budget. I'm like, we can get one person. Then I thought about Jason Lives. That was the other movie. And I was like, Jason, CJ Graham. So we reached out to CJ and, we linked up and we put this show together in Blairstown for CJ Graham in August. It was August, Friday the 13th of 2021. And over 200 people ended up showing up there. We had a dinner for 80 people. It was a very successful show. Yes, there were some issues behind the scenes. I mean, there's always issues. People don't know this.
That's every con. Like even everyone's favorite convention that you could imagine. There's something going on. You don't understand what happens with the talent that you love so much. There's a side of them that guys that you don't know. We're not going to go exposing all the rumors and stuff that we may know. There's the agents listen, the agents get more money for as much as the talent could get. That's how they get paid even more. And there's venue problems sometimes where last minute things could change. So,
there's so many factors.
There's so many factors.
We'll put on a show. And, I think like for those, and there's been an overwhelming response on what just recently happened, which we'll get to later on, of positivity and people understanding what happened. Cross that line, imaginary line, and say things that they have no idea what they're talking about. I worked hard, man.
There's a lot of people that look at it the same way they would look at football with Monday morning quarterback. Like, why'd you throw that pass clearly with that, that it's going to get intercepted? It's like, you don't know. You're not on the field, man. Like, you can only comment so much on something like this.
And you know what? I can take constructive criticism. I could definitely, we can have a conversation. But when you bash and say certain things that you have no idea what you're talking about, that's when I get defensive. And for me, again, going back to that point, I am literally the nicest person that anybody could ever meet until that happens, until you get me upset. And for me, I worked hard, Lauren. I'm not saying I'm the hardest worker. Okay, I know there are a lot of people that work
Dude,
hard.
there's always someone working harder, but that's not the
Yeah.
point, dude. Because you and I talk. You gave me a lot of play-by-play, even more so with the Blairstown, because I was a sponsor, and unfortunately, that's like my biggest stain of the year because I ended up catching COVID at Texas Frightmare and couldn't go. But I know for a fact, and I don't know a lot of people know this, but this isn't what you do. You're not a promoter that takes his money and rolls it and lives on conventions. You are a blue collar guy like myself. And then we step into what we really want once we punch out of work. So for anyone out there who thinks like Jimmy Entertainment has got like an office and a whole bunch of staff that works for him, that doesn't work. Same thing with Average Superstar Films here. It's like, it's me. It's all me. Everything that I run, I have to go to work. And then when I get out, that's when the real world starts. So just for everyone out there, like, please acknowledge that this is just a regular guy that probably at times, I'm not going to go into he could tell you, but I don't know if he lives paycheck to paycheck or just barely getting by. But there's a lot that goes into these events, and there's a big sacrifice.
I mean, dude, listen, and I appreciate that, Lauren. I do, because I know you're a hard worker yourself.
Yeah.
I've done, for those that don't know, maybe give a little backstory. I've done EMS. I was an EMT for 7 years in New York and the Bronx. I've seen a lot doing that. Always worked. I did construction at times for different people, did roofing jobs, sheetrock jobs, moving jobs, always busting my ass straight, for lack of a better term. Worked in delis, pizzerias, you name it, man. I've done a lot of that work, office work, worked multiple jobs at multiple occasions, just to live in New York and then, build up what I've built up here. And it's not even anywhere where I want to be. But I do live, we most of us live paycheck to paycheck, and we put away what we can. The last time I took a vacation with my wife, throwing it out there, was 2017, man. That goes to show you. I put a lot into this, whether it was with
and
wrestling.
That's probably around the time the CJ Graham event happened, right?
Well, no, CJ happened last year in 2021.
Really?
Yeah, it was that quick. It was that soon of events. It was that, and the mini con this year. And then the third one was supposed to be Jason Takes P.A. But
okay, but well, let's go back to the CJ Graham thing. I know you said, of course, you have a couple, side issues, but it did happen.
Yeah, no, the issues with that one. Okay, former business partner agreed to go half on everything, but he said the first event, told me straightforward, he has nothing for the first one, which is fine, because he told me up front I covered the cost. I knew what I was getting into. There was no issues financially with the first event. I had the budget. We worked it out. It was just things with that lady I was dealing with.
You had some financial issues with your former partner.
Yes.
But the event did happen. The fans were happy. You put a different spin on this, as far as this isn't just like, hey, you come in, which is, all these conventions are awesome, but you can go up, you can meet the celebrity, you can hear a Q&A, you could meet some vendors and buy some stuff. You put your own spin on, where you actually get to sit down with a guy that played Jason and have dinner with them.
Absolutely. And it's an experience, man. And you're watching the movie with him as well. Like,
Yeah, so you're hanging out with them in a way, So I thought that was a really cool idea. You said about 200 people, and then that's where you spun into the Blairstown event.
Well, yeah, that first one with CJ was actually in Blairstown as well. It was with the museum, which I don't like talking about because we've had issues with that venue and that lady over there, but that's a whole other story. That whole town, I got to tell you straightforward, guys, I'm done with Blairstown. I cannot. It's like a cesspool of drama, but that's just me being very honest.
And just for everyone out there, so they're not like, oh, he just got wherever this guy goes, there just seems to be a problem. If they're thinking that, like, Jimmy explained a lot of this stuff to me, where for everyone who's never been to Blairstown, it is a quiet town, and they want to keep it that way. So when Jimmy was trying to put this event together, it's like they agreed, and then it's like, but not this, or you need to cut it off at this time. It's kind of like, those people are close to New York City. I think a lot of those people like to go to New York City to have fun, but they don't want the party coming this way.
No, I bought a little noise, and they're like, well, you got to keep it down. You got to turn it down.
Yeah. So he had to go. Jimmy, doesn't live up there, had to drive to city council meetings to plead his case, the battle. And I mean, you could go on and on about what the other things. I don't want to be taking words out of your mouth, but Jimmy was keeping up with me, and I was really trying to be the best help desk of, like, okay, if they do this, do that, you know, like try to get this, but if you can't, maybe we try this, you know, like, so this dude, I'm basically trying to tell everybody there's a reason he's sitting on this show right now, and I'm not on the other side of the fence saying F this guy, get him out of here. This guy put a lot of heart in, and I believe in the guy. And like I said, for a guy who ran 26 film events myself, I understand the heat, guys. And, you know, the fact is I pulled them all off, but, you know, there was a time or two where, you know, a couple blown gaskets during that event, and it's scary. And so I understand what it's like being the other side of the fence.
You know, I again, Lauren, thank you, and I appreciate that. You know, I think about it. You know, CJ, and shout out again. I always give this man credit. CJ's such a stand-up guy, very professional. Gave me a lot of good advice, and I've taken that advice. And then from there, from CJ's event, you know, what happened was we had booked. So this goes into the Jason Takes P.A. event. Around this same time, we had booked this event with Kane Hodder, myself and the former business partner.
Is this,
so, yeah, this was
so the audience understands that you booked the Kane thing before you did the actual Blairstown event? Okay.
Yes. This event was booked in 2021.
Okay.
Now, it was booked again with my former business partner, and thinking that he was going to go half, which then that half turned into 25% on cost. I got pricing on everything that we had. We were scheduled to do this event actually first before nobody knows this, but we were supposed to do it in Brooklyn. I was supposed to be like a, you know, Jason Takes Brooklyn event, and like Jason Takes Manhattan, Brooklyn. So we were going to have that twist on it. The venue that we had told me after we signed the contract that it was a $14K bar guarantee. And it's just something that I knew I was not, I said, I don't want to take that chance.
Yeah.
So then I had to go back to the agent to tell her, like, hey, let's switch this up. You know, that venue is not going to work. So we looked into, according to my former business partner, he said, hey, why don't you look at Bethlehem? Because that's where another one of my close team members, and who I consider family now, Josh Horror Daddy, lives. And we found the Blue. It was a spot called the Blue. We were going to do it there initially, that end of last year. Things happened, which we're not going to get into details. And it got pushed until this year, December 10th. So, and at the time we were lucky because, you know, again, this former business partner had no money for that. So then we were talking about, okay, well, God forbid we did have to have the event. How are we going to work that? Because now you're telling me you don't have the funds to cover your portion. He's like, well, you know, it got pushed. That's great. Now let's see if we could do another event before Kane's event, because there's a Friday the 13th in May, hence the mini con. And I said, you know what? That's a good idea. And then we could just reinvest all of that into Kane's event.
Yep.
And again, at the time, I can go 25%. So I'm crunching numbers here, and I'm knowing what I can bring in on top of paying my personal bills and what I can raise. Let's see what I can bring in from vendors, from sponsors and stuff like that. So we get to about February of this year. We're going to get to the mini con. And you know a lot, Lauren. I talked to you behind the scenes about things that were going on leading up to the mini convention. And I mean, guys, if there ever was like Black Cloud, you look that up, you'll see a picture of me in the dictionary.
You're the Charlie Brownest.
Man, I'm telling you right now, seriously, the Jimmy Brown, because this event right here, the mini con, I thought was not even going to happen, because this guy bails out and says he's buying a house in Pennsylvania, so he can't put anything towards it. So now all the responsibility's on me. And we're talking car accidents I got into, COVID, cancellations, issues behind the scenes that nobody has any idea about, but somehow was able to pull off the mini con. I don't know how
which was 2 full days outside in a tent at the actual diner from Friday the 13th.
There was an agent that I was dealing with, which was one of the agents I was dealing with here, and I could say it out here, Stacy from C&V Promotions. She was behind the scenes. I got to tell you, for that event, for the mini con, she was very helpful. And, you know, I've seen a different side of her now, but that's besides the point. But for this right here, she was helpful behind the scenes and trying to make it happen. And I guess because also, you know, she had a lot invested. There were a lot of people that she represented in there. Laura Marie Taylor, Tracy Savage,
Harry,
so on and so forth. So, you know, we made it work. And there were struggles. Not gonna lie, but people don't know that. Fans didn't know that. They didn't see it. We pulled it
There's
off.
going to be struggle at every event.
Yes.
From everything, guys. The Texas Frightmares, Monster Meat, they all have a fork. Something happens. You just don't hear about it. They don't go into the social media and tell you.
My biggest thing, Lauren, is we have an event. Everyone needs to get paid. Everybody that's promised to get paid needs their money.
Yeah.
And everything has to work like that. I don't care if I leave there negative thousands. As long as the talent get paid and the venue and everything gets paid, I'm content. Because here is the situation. With this convention right here, too, I went out of my own pocket. I took money that were for my personal bills just to make sure this event happened because it was coming down to the wire.
Yep.
And we did it, and we pulled it off, and we made some money at the door, which helped me, clear up some personal debt. Now, this business partner I got to throw out there, again, supposed to put a little bit towards it and wanted every dollar back from that event. That's not a business partner in my eyes. That's somebody that says, hey, I'm going to give you a little bit of a loan, which was under 2 G's. When this event, guys, throwing it out there, this event cost $27,000 for the mini-con, okay, for everything to get paid. And that's what we raised, and that's what I put out of my pocket, and that's the little bit, $1,800 or so that this gentleman put out that wanted every dollar back, including for wristbands and ink cartridges. Yeah, I'll throw it out there. So I was very disappointed with that. But for this,
you were two guys trying to grow.
Yeah, dude, that's what it was.
And that that sounds to me like 1,800 is something that you almost have to just let go. You eat that all the time being in film, and it's kind of like I said, it's like you put 1,800 on red at the casino and you don't win. You don't get to tell the dealer, give me my money back.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Bottom line, Lord, I'm sorry for cutting you off because there's a lot going through my mind right now.
Gotcha.
Talking here. I'm sorry. I made sure everybody got paid at this mini-con. CJ got paid at his event. And all the talent can tell you, Ron Sloan, CJ, all these people can tell you how I've done business. And they know how I am. I mean, look at this other gentleman here, another guy I don't get along with because he went off the deep end recently, Vince DeSanti. This is a guy that inserted himself pretty much in this event, and I gave him a spot. Sean Richards gave him a spot. Nobody else gave, and I'm sorry to say it, nobody gave Sean a spot on any card for Friday the 13th related material. He did a documentary for part 3, made sure he had a table. Dude, listen, for me, whatever's going to make the event successful, whatever other layers I can add to the event, and if I can give somebody else an opportunity to show their work, no matter who they are, I'm going to do that, man, because teamwork makes the dream work. And I always believe in that, no matter who you are. Okay, I don't overlook anybody and anybody's fan films, whatever it is, man. I support everyone doing something positive and what they're passionate about. Lauren, I would even tell you, dude, get a table. Promote Dark Military. I mean, I've said it to you before, man. Of course, because you know what? You're doing something positive. You're not an asshole. There's people out here that don't deserve it. And I still gave him a shot.
And for anyone who knew, I wasn't running around talking about this, but Jimmy, I always told you during this Jason Takes P.A, I literally kind of wanted to walk around and shadow you in case any sort of fire situation picks up, because I'm used to it with my events of okay, if this happens, here's how we put that out, because, everybody's different between the vendors, between the talent, an agent. There's a lot of different personalities in here. And, when you look at all the other conventions, whether it be comic book, horror, trust me, the head promoter is not having a good time. They're running around. There's problems, guys. It's constant catering to these people. And there's a lot. That's the only reason I was like, I'm built for this. Put me in, coach. So, yeah. So it's another reason I'm, backing up at the beginning. I said I kind of known everything Jimmy was doing, everything that was happening here, and the guy is 100% heart, and that's why I have him on the show to explain his point of view. And we're getting to it, folks. We're getting to the main topic, but go on.
But yeah, man. So, mini-con happened. And, for me, man, Lauren, when I think about it, my goal here was to continuously reinvest into these events.
And keep growing.
And just keep growing. I'm not touching a dollar from ticket profits for my own personal bills or anything like that. I got my own job that covers my bills. The money that's made gets reinvested to cover the events and cover the next event. And just that's what we were doing here. Now, granted, I will say that's not a way I should have done this. I know I kind of rushed into it because I believed that I had somebody I can count on as a business partner, which I didn't, and it was too late at that point to just
you hit a learning curve, dude.
Yeah.
And like every business has it, man. And what this happened, on the 10th of December here, this was your first defeat. I mean, it just happened, dude. And like,
and I always
it
live by
sucks
this.
because it hurts a lot of people, some of the fans, all that. But like, I don't want anyone leaving the show at all thinking that you weren't putting your whole heart into this, because you were. And reality, you're the one that's taking the hardest hit on all this.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you the truth. I also take full responsibility because
Yes,
at the end of the day, no matter the circumstances, I can sit here, I could point fingers at all the things that happened, and the deck was stacked against me, and then my business partner. No. I should have been more prepared, and I said it in the video. And bottom line, that's the bottom line right now, guys. So I sincerely apologize to fans, to vendors, to talent, to everybody involved in this Jason Takes PA event for not being more prepared. And by being more prepared, I mean, hey, I need a financial cushion. I need business credit. I need backup. I mean, this is stuff that I should have had, and I didn't have. My backup was my business partner, which fell through, but it's not good enough, man. So
it's not. Yeah, once he's gone, you took the ball on the field and you were running with it. So as you're saying, you're owning up to it, and I think that's great. And it's like, as you were saying, you should have been more prepared. It's like, you don't know that when you're still kind of fresh and new. You're only a couple of years into this. For a guy who's been in film 10 years, only a few people, I'll tell everybody this. I was looking to record a movie, my follow-up to A Dark Military. It wasn't A Dark Military, but something completely different. I was supposed to do it back in September, and I had a budget, and I just started looking at, I had a meeting with my team, my crew, and I was like, they threw some extra expenses in, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like it's gonna fall. There's too much water leaking in there to say, let's roll the dice and try this. I was like, no. So I'm back to the drawing board again. That money's still there, so I might try to roll it into something else. But that took me 10 years being in the business. You're a new guy. You're enthused. You didn't want to let anybody down. I guess for my question, what everyone's been waiting for, of like, Jimmy, why did Jason Takes PA fall apart?
So there are many factors why it fell apart. But ultimately, after everything I just said previously, I could sit here, I can point fingers, I can blame other things in certain situations and circumstances, but it doesn't make a difference, because it falls on me as a promoter. And I take, like I said, full responsibility for that. So
I hope everyone just heard that, like, takes that, like, lets that register for a second, because there's so many people that wouldn't say that. So
no, and I'm not running, like you said, Lauren. Yep. I'm not running anywhere. I didn't take nobody's money. There's people saying I'm a scammer, I'm a fraud. Of course they're going to say that, because they don't know me, and they don't know how hard I work behind the scenes. They don't know the other events I've had. And you can go ahead and say that, because I'll make sure you get a free front row ticket to the event that I have when I do come back. Not a problem. So you can see I'm not a fraud, and I'm not a scammer. I don't take people. Scammer, cool. I'm going to answer your question in a second, though. But scammers, like you said, they take your money. You never hear from them again. They delete your social media. They run, gone. Okay? If I'm responding to you and I'm sending you private messages through Messenger or email saying, hey, and giving you my direct line saying, look, here's what's been refunded. Okay, we're going to get to that in a second, too. Here's what's left. Here's who has to get paid. Look, guys, here it is. It fell apart because ultimately we didn't have enough to cover the venue. That's what it was. And we were short $900 to be exact. And I was scrambling. Yeah, it was right there, man. Adam, everybody else, Kane, they knew about this that week. They knew about it the week before, actually. And I was making everybody aware. Here's the situation. Here's what's going on. And
You're
on
letting me
Monday,
know as well, by the way, everybody.
yes,
You talked, yeah, because
I talked to you, and I told the venue, I told a couple other people in the business too that know me. I'm not going to mention names about what's going on to get their advice. And the thing is, and they told me, these people told me, you have to cancel it because it is worse to have the event, and I believe this too, and not pay Kane Hodder's full guarantee, okay, because I'm taking some of his money to put it towards the venue, than to not have the event, okay, and just cancel it before that happens. So I know people are probably saying, Lauren, $900. You telling me you can't scramble? Guys, I've put everything I had at him. I emptied my credit cards. I've emptied my account. I took my card note and I put it towards whatever the balance was on this thing. Okay. There were some factors behind the scenes with the venue and other things that I can't even discuss right now legally. So the bottom line is, when I told and I informed how Adam and everybody else how much we were short on the venue Friday before, it was a whole big issue. Okay, the venue had canceled a Friday before. They says that the event's off because you didn't have the rest to pay it, and it was more than 9 at the time. So on Monday, I informed Kane's agent. She told Kane he was rebooking his flights to go home. I tell Adam's agent and tell her the whole situation. She calls Adam, and things go from there. Adam does take it upon himself to make a payment towards the venue. Left us with a balance of 9. And actually, I'm lying. I'm sorry about that. No, it wasn't 9. At the time, it was 12. I scrambled to get another $400, and then we were short 9. So it was 12 that was left on the venue. And then, he also called Kane and said, "Hey, Kane, I'm going to see you this weekend, buddy." And now Kane's confused. Like, what's going on? So there was a whole big mix-up behind the scenes. And we get everybody on the same page. The event at this point looks like it's going to happen because, okay, we went from owing this much to owing this much. And I'm like, well, $1,200, I could make $1,200 happen. I thought I could make $1,200 happen. And it just wasn't the case. It wasn't. I raised 400. We were short 9. Now, here's what gets me. Thursday, knowing how much we're short, Kane's already in Allentown because he was already in New York. Okay, for receiving an award in New York. He's already at his hotel in Allentown on Thursday. Adam just landed or is landing in Newark, ready to come in to his hotel, knowing that we are $900 short. Now, I know this is not my responsibility. This is nobody else's responsibility but mine to come up with it. But knowing the severity of the situation and knowing the domino effect that would have happened, that did happen, okay, if this got canceled, you would think, hey, one of the agents I was talking to, hey, listen, we're 900. Let's put it out. Here's what I'm receiving on ticket sales, guys. $15,000 was coming in on ticket sales the next week. I could have easily paid $900 back in 1 week to somebody. Then nobody wanted to help. I've stressed the concern. Now, even the venue, even going there, guys, listen, 900 is what I'm short. They said I had till 4 o'clock to get the money. I don't have it. I'm in there. I don't have the money. We're short 9. Here's what I'm making. I'm making this amount. You can give me till next week. As a matter of fact, we're selling tickets at the door. There's $50 general admission. We got raffles going on that we're going to raise money with. I mean, we have other things that we're doing. We're selling posters that we could raise the money. We can give you 900 the day of the event. And whatever we're short, I got you covered with the Eventbrite money that's coming in the next week. Nobody wanted to help. And the venue canceled it. It says, we can't do it. I'm sorry. You don't have the money. We can't do it. They told the staff. From that point, I had to tell Adam and Kane, and they were already in town. Okay. And you can imagine how pissed off they all were. Okay. And had to tell the vendors that night. So mass email went out to the vendors, and, obviously they weren't happy. And, here's the thing that gets me though. On Friday morning, I tell all the ticket holders, and then obviously that's when the shit storm begins, really begins. And I got to tell you guys, ticket holders, vendors, again, I am sincerely sorry because I know how much time you invested in creating maybe specific things for these events, especially the vendors, obviously, and the ticket holders. You guys are traveling. Words can't express how much, how sorry I am for that, man. But unfortunately, nobody was working with me the last minute. And again, I know it's not their responsibility, but knowing how many people are going to be affected by this and knowing that I have the money coming to me, somebody could have did something. They can curse me out all they want, but help me out for this, and I got you covered on the rebound at the event or next week. Nobody did. They left me out there to dry.
You stretched the field as much as you could.
I have, yes.
And as much as people might be saying, "Oh, is that it?" Like you don't understand. He just told you he did $27,000 into Blairstown. I don't even want. Not he could say it if he wants. I'm not going to ask, but like it had to be more for this one. Okay, I mean the dude that.
$42,000 for this event.
42. Yeah, I mean, think about that, guys. You got to raise 42,000. Could you do that? Could you do that, listener, right now? Like, in the next few months for something. But so in the end, Jimmy's owning up to it. He should have been more prepared, as he's saying. And he went 2-1. He went 2 good ones, and then this happened. I mean, he's a guy with all heart that gave it a shot, and unfortunately, this one crashed.
Well, look, and just to talk a little bit more about that day on Friday, Black Friday. I'm gonna call it my new Black Friday here,
yeah.
December 9th, man. I try to, guys, I try to laugh about it now. I try to stay positive because you can't let this consume you. It's hard not to, but you know what? Life has to go on, and I was mentally so messed up these past 3 weeks, up until recently, because of everything that happened. Because I know I let you guys down, because I know that I tried everything I can and I couldn't make it happen, and I felt like just a complete failure at one point. And I realized that, what, I gave it my all, man. I tried to make it happen, and I know shit happens. Okay,
good. Can I just jump in here? I mean, you can answer these. So, people that bought the tickets, they got refunded.
Yeah, well, 75. So that's what I was getting to now. So on Eventbrite, they held about 75-80% of sales. The other portion of the sales got released into my account. That portion, the vendor money, sponsor money, went towards things for the event that I couldn't get back. So Kane, Adam, you think flights, hotels.
So we're doing I'm doing a couple bullet points here. So you're telling me Adam and Kane's flight and their hotel was already paid for out of your budget.
Yeah, that was already covered.
Okay, so for anybody listening here, you've now just told everybody Adam and Kane have been taken care of minus the profit of their guarantee, but it's not like this is money that they put on their own credit card to fly here.
No.
That's taken care of.
So
right?
That was taking care of hotels. I've accommodated. I even got some comp rooms. I know Mr. Hodder had a good friend that wanted to come in. I made sure he got a comp room. Steve Knapp, he got a comp room as well at the Americas Hotel. And then, we had props, photographer, decorations, advertisement budget, which people don't understand. I spent
I understand, but please tell them. I understand, but tell them, yes.
$6,300 alone in Facebook ads for the entire year I paid for. On top of all event ads that was paid for just to promote the event, flyers and stuff like that. This is money that, you can't get back once you invest it in there, especially you think flights and hotels. These guys are already in town. I can't get that money back. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just trying to tell everybody that is against you right now. So Kane's taken care of, Adam's taken care of, minus what they were going to hopefully get at a profit, from all the customers. And you just put 6,300 hours into marketing, and what would you say percentage of the people that bought tickets are refunded? What would you just say?
Right now we have 23 people left to get refunded, and over.
Okay, so there's 23 people left that that I understand, but but you just explained to everybody, like, you're a little short there, but for the most part, only 23 tickets need to be refunded. So basically what I'm trying to say is anyone who said that you're a scammer, you're not. He's not a scammer if he's in a hole, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, like he's that money is lost to the Facebook ads. It was almost pointless. And the hotel and the flights and the people that bought the tickets. There's only 23 left, and I'm sure he'll bring that up in a second. I'm sure he's gonna take care of them. But once he clears those 23, it's just Jimmy by himself, month after month, taking bills. I mean, he's left in the ditch by himself. Where's the scam? Where's his mansion? You know, where's
my Lamborghini? Where's the mansion? The Lamborghini? I mean, come on.
And why would he be? And why would he be here, folks? Why would he?
Why would I waste my time? Hey, I got all this money. Yep. Screw you guys. I'm deleting my social media. No, man.
And there's a reason, because Jimmy, you're generally sorry. You did this event from the heart, and you're looking for forgiveness. You're looking to explain yourself, and I know you already talked to me, but you have some tentative plans that what you would like to do once you rebound. Well, so you're trying to stay here, and you're just trying to clear the air.
Yeah, I'm trying to clear the air, clear my name, and do the right thing, because I feel bad. Again, these are people that have planned this trip, people that are traveling from out of state, and people that also still made it up here. Because again, they managed to, Kane and Adam managed to have a little meet and greet in a hotel in Allentown, which, hey, for the fans that traveled, that's awesome. I had a couple from Kentucky. Shout out to Ruby and her husband. They traveled up here from Kentucky. They were already up here. They still ended up meeting them. I ended up, hooking them up with something too, but they made me something so nice, because they know I was in contact with them the whole way for this whole thing. They made me something on here, which I'll show you in a minute, handmade. And, the fans, the people that know me and the people I've been in communication with know that there was no malintent. This was not intentional at all. This was just, hey, shit happened, and it shouldn't have happened, because again, I should have been more prepared. But ticket holders, now, you think about 174 tickets, right?
Let's explain to the audience, because different audience is not just horror movies and stuff, but what did they get out of this ticket?
So whether it was general admission or whether it was a dinner ticket holder, okay, I don't know what was what, and I don't know how Eventbrite kind of works the refund system, because I issued out a mass refund. It's like they picked and choose.
You had your tickets, though, for anybody listening. The tickets were also to get you inside to see the vendors and probably go meet Kane Hodder and Adam or whoever else you had. But you also had the super ticket, which was actual dinner with Kane Hodder, which was like a separate group, right? Where they actually get to hang out with. So what did they get out of that ticket?
Oh, out of that ticket, it was one autograph. It was one autograph and photo op with Kane. It was entry. It was the dinner with Kane and Adam, roundtable dinner. It was going to be screening of Jason Goes to Hell, a Q&A session with them. And another thing was Adam was filming the ending of his documentary, upcoming documentary next year. It was supposed to happen at this event. That was a last minute insertion as well. That's a whole other debacle, with him filming that. That was never contracted. It was a verbal agreement. I was honored that he was going to do that. I was being threatened for, again, I don't even want to get into it, actually, because I don't want to cause any more problems. But the bottom line is, I've never signed off on having, I agreed to it because I was honored for it, but there was no contract for that to happen.
You're not basically, I could jump in here. Jimmy's not saying, he's not liable if someone says they want to come film at your event when there's no paperwork. Jimmy was not getting a kickback in any way, or is this like, hey, I'm honored, you want to come film it here? But
that's what it was. That's exactly
it's like you're not at fault, like And
look, and here's the thing, man. And all due respect to both, again, even telling the talent, okay, even despite whatever happened behind the scenes, Kane and Adam, guys, I'm sorry if you're seeing this right now. This is not my intention. I wanted to have this event. Okay, I was a fan of Jason Goes to Hell, as many others were not, but I was. Okay. And I wanted this to happen. And it didn't happen, man. And going back now to ticket holders, I want to talk about that real quick. Ticket holders and vendors, because in case anybody's watching, there are 23 people left. Eventbrite, there are no more funds on Eventbrite. Everybody got refunded as many people as possible. Now, the remaining ticket holders, that has to come out of my pocket. And again, I have a job that covers my personal bills. So now I'm looking for a second job to help these people get their money back sooner, just to make sure we can cover that. And on top of that, same thing with the vendors. That's the same issue I'm dealing with vendors, that they don't understand. Like, hey, listen, that money was used for things for the event. Now, I know it's frustrating, but I'm not going anywhere. You guys got to give me some time to make this right. I even told ticket holders, hey, listen, issue a chargeback on your cards. I'm trying to contact Eventbrite to say, hey, listen, guys, just pay these remaining people and I'll deal with Eventbrite directly for whatever money's owed. That's what I'm trying, because I want these people to get their money back. Because I know if I was in their shoes, I would be just as pissed. I
could tell you right now, man, as a guy, you know, the dark military, I took that film on the road, and I completely understand, and my heart goes out to those vendors that they're en route, and then they find out, you know, boom, like, oh, it sucks because they're all family too, and you know, I'm trying to. My heart goes out to them. It really does. Yeah. And I think it's great that you're showing here that you care, and you wish you could take care of them quicker. But,
dude, I wish I had it right now to go.
I know, but
empty out my whole bank account but there's nothing in there. It's just my personal bills. The missus and it's personal bills.
Yeah.
And I can't stress it enough. It's how I don't have it. Like people think I do, but you can't draw blood from a stone. You know, if I had it, you would have it. Everybody out there that's owed money is
you never really. You're like me when I was, you know, like when it came to my film, The Dark Military, I was the director, the screenwriter, the producer, all that. I didn't pay myself. You know, like I took every little bit of profit that I could make out of that, and you just keep rolling it into more advertising, you know, and this and that. And that's what you did with your events. You didn't pay yourself.
No.
At all. You just took the profit. So I know people that may not have any sort of business background and all that, but like that's how not just Jimmy and I, but a lot of people do this. You can't pay yourself. You're hoping in time you get so big that now you can, okay, you know,
eventually over time, you know, you get that's where you get your profit from.
But right now, you know, this guy's total bluegrass is what this guy is. And he was trying and he was learning and he's owning up to it. And he's here, guys. He's telling you, he's pouring his heart out. He's saying he's sorry. He's not smiling, and he's not sitting here like, you know, like some wrestler laughing at her. Oh, I wouldn't have him on the show.
No, it is disappointed. And you know, for these events, and again, I hate using this word, shuffle. Okay, it's like a big shuffle game to make all these things happen behind the scenes, because of situations and circumstances. And that's what I was doing since last summer. And, you know, like moving forward, okay, because people are probably, and people ask me even behind the scene, are you done or you're not doing? No, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going anywhere, Lauren. Whether you hate me now or you love me, because there really is no in between, apparently, anymore. I'm not going to stop doing what I love. And I know like next year, I'm going to really be focused on a lot of wrestling stuff, as I was behind the scenes over the past couple of years. But I got now to help out. I was working with this company, BCW. Shout out to
you're going to rebuild in a different area.
Yeah.
And hopefully come back to this and
I will.
Yeah,
I will. 2024, I'm coming back. I don't care what anybody out there says or doubts. I will be back. And here's the thing, Lauren. You know, next year, focus on the wrestling, you know, watch parties and events that we have going on, smaller scale, because I'm working for a company now. That's going to help me generate some more revenue to help me clear up this mess and save some more money. And same thing with the watch parties, which we really don't pay for those. Those are all profit, because we get the venue, and you know, we have different contracts with, you know, Hooters and some other venues with that. So my goal is next year, I'm taking the entire year off from events, from doing anything like we were doing before with meet and greets. I'm going to stack up some money. I'm going to save. I'm going to get some business credit. I'm going to clear up any debt that's out there with anybody that's owed money, and come back in 2024 and pay for things. The first event that we come back with, which I have an idea of what I want to do, everything's getting paid up front. And I'm going to show the fans and show everybody out there video proof that things are paid for. Venues paid for, talent is paid for. So there's
the transaction happening.
Yeah, dude, seriously, I'll record the guy at the venue, whatever venue it is, saying, yes, it's paid for. A venue is covered. I'll record whatever talent we have, giving them money or a check. Yes, He paid for us. We're coming. I need people to feel secure about another event. And that's the only way I can do it. Because right now, people see me announce an event. I ain't going to that shit. If I was a fan, I would say the same thing. Yeah. So I don't blame you guys. That's why now
you're gonna put your heart in and do your best to rebuild your cred.
That's what I have to do. I have to
Yep.
and you know what? Again, this is a big lesson, Lauren. This whole thing there's multiple lessons, but the biggest lesson out of this is you always need to be over prepared. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to be over prepared, and you can't count on another man's pocket.
No, you can't. And
You can't.
and you learned your lesson. There's a reason I made Average Superstar films. I don't like another hand in the basket. I wanted the whole thing to go through me. And as I said this past September, I had an idea, and then once I realized over prepared, I wasn't over prepared. I was right against the wall, and I decided to pull it because last thing I ever need is to get halfway through a movie and we run out of money or something.
Yeah.
Dude, so you're learning your lesson, friend, and it's a big lesson. And there's gonna it sounds from what I was keeping up with, from people that text message me, from what I've seen online, I thought there'd be a lot bigger backlash to you, and there is, but I've seen a lot of people sticking up, and I think that's a good sign, because I think people go by energy and stuff. And the fact that the day that happened, you went Facebook Live saying, I'm right here.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, and you started explaining stuff, so again, the bad promoters, those true scammers, that they run and you never see them again. This guy's right here.
Everybody's going to get their money back. I'm cleaning that whole debt up next year. By the time I come back,
let's just stop and say that for everybody listening, he's taking a whole year of his life off to pay for all this.
Yeah, just straightforward.
That's what he's doing.
Because
I mean, if you can't forgive that, you're God. I don't
look. You know what? I don't expect all people. It's Lauren. It's fine, and I'm not asking for everybody to back me. I know there's going to be people out there. I know for a fact there are people out there that no matter what I do, they're just going to say, "Oh, say what they want to say," and that's just because that's how people are, unfortunately. And I'm okay with that. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. But the thing is, for me, you're not going to, just by you saying what you're saying, you're not going to stop me from doing that. Just gives me more motivation. And that fuels me even more, because I don't see many people, if any, out here with the type of energy that I have for these events and the way I promote these events. There's nobody doing promo videos to promote it. None of these promoters out here, all due respect to NJ Con, Monster Mania, Texas Frightmare, Days of the Dead. Great shows. Great. Respect them all. I know it takes a lot of work to throw a show. So, guys, you got my respect 100%. But there's nobody out here promoting like I do, Lauren, and as much as I do. And I don't care. I'll take that to the grave with me. Because like you said, I am hard. And I'm not blowing smoke on my own ass. But the bottom line is, dude, I love this shit. And I'm a fan, like I stated. And I'm going to continue doing it because I love it. And I'm not going to stop. So it may take some time. I take a step back to go a few steps forward. But when we do come back and we take all this in and we take this experience that we've been through, and now we ensure it does not happen again, we'll be delivering better shows and better experiences for people.
Awesome. Jim, any final words to anybody out there?
Well, the only thing I could say, first of all, to you, Lauren, thank you for giving me this platform to speak my mind on a little bit. I appreciate it. Horror 365. We're going to continue having episodes. I'm going to do the season finale upcoming this week for this year, holiday horror. We'll talk about, and then you're more than welcome to join us as well, Lauren.
Hell yes, get me on there. Punish.
Yeah. Thanks, man. And next year, we're going to continue doing the Horror 365 shows. We're going to rebuild. We're going to reconstruct the brand and the event aspect of it. The shows are going to be the shows, but coming back, the right way is important. People that have done business with me outside of the horror community, wrestling community, they know me. They know I've never had an issue doing anything wrestling events. I always deliver for the fans with that, especially these watch parties. Always fun, give back, and have a good time. And that's what I want to bring to the horror community. And I will do that once again in 2024. Need some time off. We need to clear this up, and we take that step back. But guys that supported me, like yourself, Lauren, like other people out there that understand and that had my back during this time. I'm not going to forget you guys and girls. That I can't thank you enough. Words can't express my gratitude for that support, because it's so easy to jump on the bandwagon when things go, south. And it's so hard to step up and defend somebody in this position. So it means a lot to me. For those that said I'm a scammer, I love you. And I can't wait to see you when I do come back and give you a free ticket, because I will be. I mark my words. You will. I took notes of everybody that said that. I'm going to give you a free VIP pass to the first event. And vendors, I really honestly feel bad for the vendors, because like they spent time and money and effort into creating certain things, dude. And it's terrible. I know it is. But guys, not only are you going to get your money back, but for those that understood the situation, the next event that we have, you're getting a free spot. I want you guys to make your money back and then some. So that's what I'm going to do for vendors when we come back for that. But yeah, it's just in due time, Lauren. In due time, my man.
Great. Well, Jimmy, we're about to wrap the show up here. Jim, first thing, dude, huge thank you so much for me being guy who gets the exclusive follow up to what happened. So thanks for believing in me, because I've been me and you have been tight over the last couple of years. So I know you could have went to probably even a bigger show, and I
don't care. I don't care about it. I don't care if dude. Listen, again, you know me, man. To me, you're a big show. You're a big show in my eyes, my man.
Thank you.
I know you as a person.
Yeah.
You're a good dude.
Sweet. Well, Jimmy, thank you for stopping by. I hope everybody who was, thinking about going to this event, or, in the horror community, could see a different side of Jimmy out of this. You take what you want out of it. I thank this audience again for taking the time to listen to Average Superstar TV.
Whoa. It's not the Average Superstar TV. It's the above average Superstar TV. Holding it down over here in the horror community. Guys, we're going to be back. And when we do come back, I got something special. I got something special for everybody out there. Stay tuned, Lauren. I'm telling you, my man. And you, my man, that star is shining bright, baby. It's shining bright. This is a Christmas gift for me alone. Give me the platform on your show here, man.
Absolutely. So everyone, as we wrap up, and I wish you a great holiday, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. And with that, I will say that the party is over.